Now on my pipes here, I've got a green man, and I think here somewhere over that side there's also a green man on the bench end. And there's as many explanations for the green man as there are people to explain what the green man might be, but our favourite is Adam and Seth.
Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong one there. There we go. So, another of the things that the minstrels had to do was tell stories in the fire at night. Sit by the fire in the hall and tell stories. Often these were about Arthur, particularly because Richard had built Tintagel. But this one in particular is the story of Adam and Seth. Sorry, Mike, I hope you weren't planning to use it. And it is basically a story which includes, as Merv says, the Green Man, but also the Tree of Life, and several other bits which I'm sure you'll recognise from other folk tales. So, from the Ordinalia, which is a medieval mystery play of Cornwall. Yeah?
And we're going to round it off with a medieval carol called God's Own Son, which kind of feels right for the Tree of Life.
I think you're right. Adam is weary of life and wishes to make an end. He calls Seth, his youngest son, asking him to take a message to the gates of paradise, to the cherub who guards the gate. Ask him, he says, if at the end I shall have the oil of mercy from God my gracious Father, which he promised when I was driven away from paradise with my wife, following our folly. When Seth says he doesn't know the way, Adam tells him to follow the parched prints of my feet, where no flower has grown since last I passed. You will see a great radiance. Fear not, it will only bring good. Seth agrees to his father's request and prepares to leave at once, delaying only to receive his father's blessing. After a long journey, he arrives at the gates of paradise and sees the cherub. The angel asked what errand has brought him quite so far. And Seth asks the angel Adam's question. Shall my father have the oil of mercy at his end, promised by God when he was cast out of paradise? As an answer, the cherub tells Seth to look through the gates of paradise and return to tell him what he sees. On his return, Seth says, I saw beauty more than the tongue of man can describe, minstrelsy and sweet song, a fountain bright as silver, with 4 streams running from it. Over the fountain, a tall tree, its branches without leaves or bark. The cherub nods and sends Seth back to look again. This time, Seth sees a serpent in the tree, a frightful beast coiled in the branches. The cherub sends him back a 3rd time to look more closely still at the roots and the branches. This time, Seth sees, high up on a branch, a little newborn child in swaddling bands, the branches holding the infant high up in heaven, and the roots thrust down to hell. The angel explains, the swaddled child is the Son of God, who will redeem your father and mother and good folk. He is the oil of mercy promised to your father at his death. Seth is overjoyed by this news. The angel says that Adam will not live more than 3 days and sends Seth back with 3 pips from the apple which Adam ate. Place them in your father's mouth when he dies and tell him that he will see 3 trees grow. Seth sets out on the long journey home, back to his father, and tells the wondrous news of the promise of the oil of mercy. 3 days later, Adam dies, and Seth buries him with the 3 pips in his mouth, as the angel had told him. The 3 pips will later grow into 3 rods, discovered by Moses, and eventually, after many more parts of the play, these will become the crucifix upon which Christ will die.
Wow.